What's going on, everybody? This is Hitch and
Gal.
or Allie, whichever one.
Allie.
But we've just gotten back from Mustang Week and we had an amazing time. It was really cool. Now I'm probably going to reuse some of this footage in some other videos for you guys to see. But this is kind of the podcast thing, kind of the long form, because we had a lot of good stories to tell, and this is kind of the more detailed stuff. So had fantastic time. Only there for like the second half of it. Went to the Autocross, cruised around Myrtle Beach a lot, got engaged.
Yes, we did.
So
We're engaged.
I hear that every 15 minutes. It doesn't get old.
Say, look it, shiny.
But anyways, we just wanted to talk about our trip. Like I said, we got other videos, but if you want all the details and stuff, I figure we do this in kind of a podcast kind of form, and I'll end up showing some of the footage that we got here in the background, as you can see right now. But the first day was Autocross. What did you think? First of all, what did you think Mustang Week was going to be? What did you expect? How was it different? And then same question for Autocross.
I feel like it was pretty much what I expected. Just a bunch of people in their Mustangs hanging out, driving around, showing off all the tricks and things they can do.
The tricks.
All the tricks.
Yeah.
I learned I have lots of tricks when it comes to driving a Mustang.
Yeah.
Don't I, Thomas?
You roast a clutch in 30 seconds.
Yes. That's a really good trick I learned.
Anyways.
But yeah, and then Autocross, I didn't know what to expect, because I honestly thought we were going to be on the actual race track. I didn't realize we were going to be at the drag strip.
Yeah. You thought I was going to be on the...
I thought we were going to be on the actual Darlington Speedway.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Racetrack.
I'll do it.
Yeah, well, I felt like I was doing it.
Oh, I bet. But anyways, Autocross was really fun. We met some really cool people. It was very well organized. Greg Hunt was there. Steeda was there. Shelly, I forget her last name, remember?
No, but she was awesome.
Yeah, so the instructors were great, and everything was really well organized. That's what I loved about it. Even though they claimed that they were kind of, running by the seat of their pants. But it wasn't that way. It was very well organized. Everybody was just super hyped to be there and encouraged to be there. There was a lot of respect shown from the people there that were organizing it, and made everybody feel like we were a part. We met a couple of really cool people. Met Ken, who was an older guy there. He had a newer Mustang, 2018, 2019, something like that, and had a sport pack on it. I don't know how much of that he used, but that's okay.
All right, it said he had it.
But it was a lot of fun. I took it out there, and I don't know, if there's anything I got out of this weekend is I'm not a bad driver, especially going fast, not too bad, and that I'm really proud of my Mustang, because mine was the only one that was. You didn't see many new edges there. You saw some Terminators, but I think I might have seen 4 or 5 Mach 1s the entire time we were there, which is really cool because I like being unique. So it drew more attention than a really fast car would have in 2019, with a blower on it, but it got just as much attention because of what it was, and a lot of respect too, which that was really fun. But anyways, Autocross, I took it out 2 times. I had the guy that was with me, and we'll probably try to show him there, but he was super psyched to be there. I'm like, you're having a good time? I'm just like, hell yeah, man, let's go. This is so much better than work. So, and he was really great. I think once you figure out where the track is, and which way to go, you've got a lot of it figured out. If I would have ran it 7 or 8 times, I probably could have posted some pretty fast times. But after the second time, I had it about figured out. Third time I ran it and was running really good, and I come out of the last corner, almost sideways, and the guy was in front of me is sitting there stopped, and I just have to totally back out of it because he's still sitting there across the finish line. I don't know what he's doing, and I was driving out, and one dude's like, "You got robbed." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But then we came out doing it the 4th time. I think I posted a 35.3 or something, which was probably the fastest of the day up to that point for sure. So, Allie, you were taking videos the whole time.
You did really good. I think people were making comments saying how clean you were doing, and
it didn't feel clean. It was juking around like crazy.
Because you were number 10 or something to come out. So the first 10, they just kept getting lost on the track because they couldn't read the cones, and it was really confusing to them. And I do feel like the walkthrough we did was different than what the track actually was. Because the one guy was sitting there with me, and I was like, I don't remember walking all the way over towards that fence and then turning around and coming back.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was you turned that one first sharp curve, and you went way deeper than I think we actually walked. I don't know. It looked.
I was
different.
paying very close attention on the track on the walkthrough.
I don't know. It looked different. But then they were like changing cones and added things. I was texting you quick, being like,
well, they're
adding a couple cones, and
they didn't change the track. It just made it more readable, right?
Well, I don't know.
I didn't notice a difference.
You were probably the only one who every run got all the way through it without messing up. Because I mean, there were people in the middle of it. Pulling forward, backing up.
Yeah,
12
I saw that.
Times
These guys going backwards,
trying to figure out where to go. And
so I get done with my runs, and we met this really cool couple. It was Ty and what was it, Lisa? Alexis, and so it's $250 to run for the fastest female driver, and so I'm over there with Allie. I'm like, hey, you need to think about this. So I go over, and Ty had asked me, what kind of time did you post? I said 35.3. He's like, dang, I'm slow. So what'd you do? It's like 40. He eventually ended up getting a 32. So good for him. I go over to his. He's got a 2019. No, probably newer than that. Probably like a 2020 Mach 1. I'll have to look and see. But I'll post some pictures of that on here. And he's teaching Alexis how to drive a stick. And I'm like, oh, heck, we got to go. So I come into the car. I'm like, look, this guy, he is just teaching his girlfriend how to drive a stick. You've driven in a parking lot twice. All you have to do is let out of the clutch and go forward and then just drive. Because I held it in first gear the whole time. I think I shifted to second once and was just completely out of my power band. So I just kept it in first gear. Of course, we're turning 5,000 RPMs during it. But when I went out, I got sideways. And everybody else for the first little bit was just putting along. And, I mean, I don't know. I had a slower car than most, but I think by the end of the day, there were some people really posting some faster times once they figured it out. But so what made you decide to go on the track?
So after him nagging me, I finally decided, you know what? I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna do it. So I told him, I said, come on, let's go buy tickets. And I don't think you believed me at first because you were like, no. I'm like, no, come on, let's go. We better, before I change my mind. But we walked up there and we found Greg, and I said, I'm doing it. Because he was, busting my chain before trying to get me to do it. But when they were tacking cars way in the beginning.
Yeah.
Before we knew that there was a contest. And I was like, nope, not doing it.
Tacking cars?
Tacking.
Going through tech?
They tack it.
They tack it?
I thought they tacked it.
They don't attack the car.
They don't. T-A-C-K. Tack.
But you're going through tech.
Oh, they tech it.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I would say that wrong.
I thought it was just your accent.
Nope. That's funny. Anyways. So we went and bought my tickets, and I said I want an instructor with me if I'm going to do this, because I'm just not comfortable coming off the clutch and just accelerating it. But so I got Shelly, and Tommy asked Greg, does she know how to drive stick? And he laughs at him and says, does she know how to drive stick? Turns out she's like an autocross racer, like professional.
Her and her husband.
Her and her husband are pro racers and stuff. And so I got Shelly in the car with me, and I said, I've never done this before, so bear with me. And the first run was great. I got a 53.11. 53.11!
Yeah.
I did really good for being my my third time ever driving stick shift. The only thing on that one was she told me in the middle of it, she starts yelling, second gear. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I figured it out though.
I heard,
yep, oops, my bad. But anyway, so then I had a lot of fun with that one, and then I decided I wanted to go again. Bad decision. I should have just stuck with my first run. But the thing was, the second run, she said, do you know how to drop the clutch? And I said, nope, I have no idea how to drop the clutch. So then all she tells me is accelerate, drop the clutch, accelerate, and hit the gas, and I floor it, whatever. But then she adds on, don't kill nobody.
And saying that was like,
freaked me out, So I choked it up about, we're going to say a solid 8 times before I could actually get it going. So then of course my time my time started, and so that was like 80 seconds or something horrible. So embarrassing. It was
what
so
are they doing?
embarrassing. It just like You get it going, boom, just whiplash back because the whole thing was shut down. I'm like, ah.
So,
dang it.
So, yeah. And I showed her later. I'm like, you need to put it like $4,000 or $3,000 if you're launching it.
And I wish, if y'all would have told me the numbers, it would have made more sense. Like, okay, hit the gas until you're about 3,000 and then
But would you have looked at your UI?
Yes, I would have if I would have known the numbers. I would have looked at the UI if I would have known.
I get on her about that in video games because
it's too much to read. There's so many screens that pop up and shit.
We ended up finishing up. I think Ty's girlfriend went out there. She got off clutch, did good. I forget what time she posted.
80s. It was like 84.
Yeah. So she just kind of drove through it, and it was pretty fun.
And I think I did not win.
Oh yeah, they had somebody out there who was
She
quick.
was like a professional. It was her own car, so obviously. But I think Ty said it was like 43 seconds she got. So really, I wasn't that bad off.
Yeah.
And a lot of, because I was out watching Thomas drive here. Hit you good.
Yeah.
Anywho, I was watching him drive, and most people were getting 80 seconds and things.
To begin with. But anyways, so then after that, we kind of took a break, and I was going to go drag race, but I missed the drivers meeting, and I'm kind of okay with that because I felt like the autocross was done really well, and the drag race was just not so much. Like, we could sit there for 20 minutes and watch like 2 or 3 runs, and then there was one guy there who did not understand how to stage, he'd stage and then just take off down the track, and I don't know. So I was like, shoot, if it's going to take this long, we're just going to go on to Myrtle Beach. But there was a Maverick down there that hit like 9s while we were there, and I was really surprised about that. But I wanted to drag race it, but you know what? We've got drag strips around here. Pretty happy about that. Well, I'll take it one day after I get it tuned. But anyways, we arrived at our Airbnb, which was awesome. We had a place right there on the beach. Really, really pretty. And just kind of went around to, find some of the pop-up meets. The Beaver Bar was hosting something. First time we had ever been there. Like, hundreds of Mustangs show up. And just a really cool atmosphere, And it was cool, too, because, Ty and Alexis, we just kind of kept meeting up with them. And I'll tell you this. If you go to Mustang Week, do something where you're driving. Because, to me, I figured it'd be a bunch of people show up and you can talk about cars and stuff. But you don't really get that connection and I guess that might just be me because I'm a little competitive. You don't really get that connection until you compete against someone, for a time, see who has the best time. And me and Ty did that, and I don't know, it just kind of solidified that. And we hung out for kind of the whole week, going to different events and stuff. But it was so cool just to see the cars. We had that sour apple one was amazing. It, glowed in the dark basically. Had the Sour Patch Kids up under the hood, which was really, really cool. Even got to meet Derek. That was cool. Derek Barron. He was so chill. I would think that meeting so many people all the time, a lot of people have the same things to say, but he was just really cool and gave you his time, while you were there. It's obvious that he really appreciates his fans and everything. So, and we go into the Beaver Bar. And we gotta get something to eat. We go in, and the service was not that great. It was such a difference inside than out.
We
Outside,
were such a nuisance on the inside. We just hated that we were ordering food and paying for it.
So, outside it's a party. People revving engines. There's people playing music. It's
drinking
just
beer,
lit.
Taking shots and all the things.
You go inside, and there's a whole group of 70-year-olds over there, and they're
playing bingo.
They're playing bingo, and they're calling out bingo numbers, and it just completely flattens the vibe. I don't know why they decided to do that. But we hung out there for a good little bit, saw some people take off. And of course, the Sour Apple was out there spouting flames like he usually does. I need to look up his Instagram. I know he's got one. I know I've seen him on Instagram before, but went back to TGI Fridays. And like I said, there's just meets popping up all over the place, and everybody's really cool. Everybody's really chill. The cops weren't too bad. Of course, I heard some horror stories, but if you weren't getting sideways and breaking the car loose and really redlining it, they kind of let you get away with what you want to. And I imagine there's a balance there because people are coming down there spending all that money. I know the mayor hates us because she drives a Corvette and she likes Corvette rallies and she hates Mustang Week. But besides that,
Well, then after TGI Fridays, we went over to the Player One because they were doing burnouts there. Remember the
Yeah,
cops
yeah.
showed up there.
And then the cops kind of put a damper on that because they said
Yeah.
they didn't have a permit, but whatever. So that kind of ended the first day for us. And what was that, Thursday? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Friday, we wake up, we go to the car show, the Mustang Week car show, and there's vendors everywhere. There's all kind of sick rides. There's just everything that you can imagine. I had a lot of fun there. Ended up talking to this guy with the Mr. Chrome Terminator. Corey, yep. And he was awesome. He said he's only driven it like 5 miles before, and he ended up driving it down to Myrtle Beach. Got like 30,000 miles on it. Just a really, really cool atmosphere to see all these cars. And, you know, people are very willing to talk. Of course, I love talking about my car. So you ask people questions. They had the dyno up. I was thinking about getting mine dynoed, but, you know, maybe not. It's like $130. If I'm going to get it tuned anyways, I'll just wait till later. But so we're sitting there watching the dyno. And, of course, they back cars up there, and you'll see the footage rolling. And one woman comes up behind Allie, and she says...
You just call me when they're on the street doing that. I don't want to see them up there on the machine or something like that. And it just made me giggle because even I knew what they were actually doing up there. They weren't strapping it down to do burnouts. They were, there was a legit reason why they were doing it.
Yeah, so.
But she was clueless and she shook her head and walked away, and it was so funny.
There was another funny thing that happened at the Beaver Bar the night before when that Sour Apple he was revving the engine and he didn't have, the two-step turned on where it was shooting flames.
Right.
But there's a guy like right behind them, and they're sitting in their chairs in front of the porch, and he's got his ears plugged, and his hat just right flies off like he's standing behind a jet or something. So
it's like a Three Stooges moment or something, when the hat goes flying off.
But and of course we finally got to see the famed intersection there at the mall. I'd never seen that personally, but I wanted to because that's
where all the magic happens.
Yeah, magic and disaster. So
and the disasters.
We ended up going to Hooters. They had like $3 drafts, and while we're in there, it just pours down rain. So we just made it in. I think Mustang Lifestyle was there at the same time we were. We just didn't see him. Did we go to the beach later?
Friday we went to the pool.
Yeah, so we went to the pool.
So in the
then.
Afternoon we went swimming and floated around the lazy river.
Yep, so that was fun.
I.E. Thomas pulled me around. It was great.
Yeah.
It was good.
And then later that night, went back to the Beaver Bar, and they had an amazing burnout contest. And we're going to do an individual video on that as well. Mustang Lifestyle, he ended up winning it. I think the guy that went first, who bought tires, it was nighttime when he finished, or it looked that way.
Time.
Yeah. He had bought those tires just for the express purpose of going down there, but Mustang Lifestyle also brought an entire car down there with the Lightning S197, which was he put a Lightning engine in that S197. It was kind of just a crazy project. So and then the next day we wake up and it's just pouring down rain, which kind of stinks. Luckily that night though, one cool thing was this 1970 Mach 1 was parked at the very top, and I thought that was cool. Same color as mine, and mine is an ode to the old muscle car. And we ended up driving out that next day, and he was behind us. And he figured maybe some old man driving or something that had the car for years. It's this young black guy, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So it kind of surprised because you had him driving this 1970 Mach 1, and then you'll see a orange and purple 2022 Mustang with rims and purple underglow on it, and it'd be an old man. So,
old man is late 60s. Yeah.
So that was interesting. And then we kind of broke away from the whole Mustang Week thing for a little bit, and ended up going and we went to Hurricanes, Moe's Moons, and just kind of shopping around and stuff, and just had a really good time doing that. And I guess I'll just let you tell the rest because you've probably told the story 10 times today. Why not 11?
A million times today. So we went to Hurricanes first, and we had our appetizers and a beverage, and then we walked out. He said, let's walk out to the beach, and the beach is my happy place. I just love it so much. So we walked down the beach for a while towards the pier on the boardwalk or Broadway, whatever it's called. And And I said, we gotta start looking for some whole shells. I don't want no half shells. I want a whole shell. So, we were kind of walking, looking, and I was ahead of Thomas, and I turned around, and he was squatting down, and I'm like, oh, he must have found something good. So then he comes up to me, and he goes, I think I found the best one, or something along those lines. I think I found a good one.
Oh, this one's look good.
This one looks good, or something. And his hand was kind of cupped, and then he kind of turned it towards me, and there it was this cute little shell that said, will you marry me in it? And the ring was in it, and I lost it. I was crying, and are you serious? Oh my gosh. And then he got down on one knee, and what'd you tell me?
I don't want to spend my life without you. You make me a better person. Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
And I said, of course I'm going to marry you. Yes. So it was so exciting. I think we were on the beach for about an hour after that FaceTiming and calling all the people and telling all of our family that we're getting married.
What was kind of neat was the support from the Mustang community down there that I didn't really expect. We posted on there, I figured to do it Mustang Week, so we posted on the Friends of Mustang Week. So thank you guys for all the kind words on that. As it stands, we're sitting at 873 likes on that.
That's amazing. And it was cool because that night we went out, we met up with Ty and Alexis, and we went to the tavern. Yep. And I was in the bathroom, and some lady comes up to me, I was washing my hands, and she goes, did you just get engaged? And I was like, I did. And she was like, oh, I saw you on the Facebook page. You're so excited. Congratulations. It was just really cool that all those people were coming up to us. And then we were driving down the strip that night too. Yep.
Well, we were driving down the strip, and that was one of the funnest things for me was the driving aspect of it. Going out and if you're going to Mustang Week, just drive your car. Because I enjoy the meets. And, we hung out with Ty and them. That was an awesome break. But ultimately, it's about driving your car. And it was so much fun to just be putting around or anything above that. Red light to red light and seeing all these Mustangs out. Everybody's so chill. Even got in a little bit of a race with this GT. He got the jump on me. Or he opened up first, so he got a little bit ahead, and I was pulling him by the time he let out of it. But it was just so cool. The camaraderie that was down there was amazing. Never got a harsh word from anybody, or a weird, any kind of awkward, scenario from anybody. It was just so much fun, such community. But we're going down Broadway, and of course the cops shut it down to it's just one-way traffic. So it's not just getting bombarded, but you'd rev your engine and then one person to rev their engine, and it'd be so neat just to see, of course one person does it and then the whole line just starts, and people would just smile and wave and it just make people so happy. See, I think they should just let us do whatever because we were the entertainment down there.
Right, we really
but people were lined up on the side of the roads to watch the Mustangs drive around.
Yeah. Lawn chairs, sit at the corner of the TGI Fridays, a busy intersection, just watching all the cars drive by. And
watch people get pulled over. And it was funny. It was funny because the cops can only pull over so many people. So, the cop would finally pull somebody over, and then half a dozen people would leave and just rip out of there because
that person took one for the team.
But we were going down through Broadway, and we were, hey, did you guys just get engaged? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, congratulations, let's hear it. So revving the engine.
Well, there was the people that were standing next to us. That's who that was.
Oh, that was them?
Yeah, it was the daughter-son that was standing next to us
during the burnout
contest.
And then they left another message on the Facebook comments. Yeah, so we appreciate that. But just want to thank all the people that put this together. I have not been able to go the last couple of years just due to work. And Allie, was excited about going. I had a girlfriend that wanted to go. And it's just been pretty amazing. We love going down there. So thank you guys for doing it another year. I thought I might lose my chance, but I've had my Mustang for 3 years, and this was the first chance I got to go down there, and it was just really, really fun experience. But here's the deal. We've told you our story. We want your story in the comments. There's got to be some funny things that happen. Just want to give a shout out to Ty. If you want to follow him, I'll put his Instagram page up. Definitely, drop him a follow. We appreciate your camaraderie, man. Glad you guys made it home safe and sound with no mechanical issues going on. And look forward to seeing you next year. And I think it's kind of made us decide that, maybe we need to get involved with a local Mustang group, so we can go with people that we know locally instead of just meet people there. So that's kind of what it inspired us to do. So tell us what Mustang Week inspired you to do this past week. I don't know, you have anything else?
I think that pretty much sums it up. I got engaged.
I know, I knew that was coming. So anyways, guys, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Stay tuned to some more things. I'm going to take some of these stories, just edit them for a little more short form content. But I wanted you guys just to hear all the details. And for those people who wanted to listen, just give you the opportunity. And we're listening too. We want to hear your comments, your stories, funny things that happened, sad things that happened. Time you got pulled over, did you get fined, did you get let go, did you get any races, all that good stuff. But anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Hit you good, and Allie
Gal out.
out.